And are you refreshed?
Yes.
Good. Now what?
Wonderful to be here.
Yeah.
Before I begin to say what I need to say, would like to say that my situation has brought me great clarity, even though it has brought a lot of contrast too.
Yes.
Currently, my marriage is in strain, and that's because my daughter's a teenager, and there's been certain situations where I think she's not aligned when she's making decisions, and that's where I step in, and the mom is more open to let her experience certain things. There has been times where things have been hidden from me. So my question would be, should I just allow, even if I see that my daughter is in a position where she's not making a decision that is purely aligned, and as a father?
Well, here's the thing. You have to decide, are you trying to teach behavioral control, or are you wanting to teach, through the clarity of your example, alignment and therefore inspired behavior?
That's what I want.
Because what happens if you don't allow someone to find their own alignment, if you don't allow them to feel their own freedom, they just get sneaky. And then it becomes this behavioral thing where you're keeping things from us that you shouldn't keep from us, where what's really going on is that you are sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong. And we know these are harsh sounding words to well-meaning parents, but so many parents really believe that their children aren't wise, that they will make bad decisions, and so they need to make all of the decisions for them. And there are a number of problems with that. First, your children never get good at making decisions if someone else is making them for them. Next, you are setting a very powerful message forward that says you are not to be trusted, which perpetuates more mistrust. So when you think about what your true objective is, which if we were standing in your physical shoes as parents, or in your shoes as teachers or mentors, or if we are standing in our own non-physical, non-shoes, wanting to assist you in happier life experience, we would have one objective and one objective only as it relates to other people, and that is, how can I, what could I do, what could I say, what could I think, what could I emit vibrationally that will support their belief in their own alignment, their accomplishment of their own alignment. Because you can make rules and requirements, you can make lists of do's and don'ts. Humandom is doing that all over the place, and then you become those that have to enforce. You can't even agree on what the rules are. In other words, things get to be quite in a mess, don't they?
Yes.
As you are trying to control behavior. And so we just have some simple questions for you. Have you been able to effectively achieve any consistent control over anyone in your entire life? And here's another question. Do you enjoy it when anyone attempts to control you?
Absolutely not.
So it isn't your nature. We had a whole segment here with our furry friend and our less furry friend a little bit ago, where what is being reached for is that alignment. What is being reached for is that feeling of freedom. Everything that he talked about was wanting freedom. It is the basis of that which all is. The basis of your life is freedom. You are so free you can choose bondage. Your objective is joy, and the upshot of continuing to be is expansion. So that triad of intentions is equal, the three legs that it stands on, but freedom is a given. No one can offer a vibration for you, but do you want to influence the vibration of someone that you care about in a way that causes them to be less aligned with who they are? So when you make any rules, what you actually are saying to someone is, I see that you're not smart enough to do this for yourself, so I do this for you. Well, there's not a rule in the world that could give you the benefit that that rule is taking away. Talk about undermining everything, you see. So of course you don't want to all of a sudden, we can hear arguments from you a bit around because you really do believe that you have to protect your children or that you have to teach them. But we're just asking you to teach through the clarity of your example. So our words to any parent would be, find alignment with who you are and then say whatever you're inspired to. Find alignment and then translate, then receive your inspiration. Because when you do that, you're receiving inspiration that includes everything that your child wants, where they are in relationship to it. Then your wisdom will be wisdom that will be helpful to them, you see. And it will sound more like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just am emphasizing my desire for well-being for you. I'm not trying to control you. I'm just wanting to leave you in the best possible place that you can guide yourself in a productive way. And really, I'm trying to do the impossible. I'm trying to protect you from some of the mistakes I made, as if that were even possible. And it's our promise to you that if you foster a child or anyone into a position where they begin to believe in their own well-being, when they begin to trust, then as you watch them, they will intuitively know what to do. Someone who is restricted in a very powerful way usually demonstrates the very thing that you have restricted them from. Esther's Jerry used to tell her the story because he was in the entertainment business for many, many years before she met him. And he met lots of strippers in the nightclubs, and he was a master of ceremony. And he said, as our friend said a minute ago, something similar, almost all of them were preachers' daughters.
In there.
Almost without exception. The most repressed were those that were displaying their freedom in the most outrageous ways that they could discover. And what's interesting about it is that they were not following their own guidance. They were just demonstrating the vibration that was most active in them, and the vibration that was most active in them was the vibration that had been pushed against the most in their life experience. You see what we're getting at? So don't make war with your child's mother, and don't make war with your child. Make peace with your own inner being, and then follow the inspiration that comes once you've made that peace, you see. Don't make it about them, make it about you. So if you can hold worrisome thoughts about your daughter and feel good, of course you can't. So those worrisome thoughts that you hold separate you from your guidance, and so then your guidance isn't worth much, you see. You have to think thoughts of success and thoughts of well-being. You have to find ways of trusting. You have to have faith in her ability to guide herself even when she's demonstrating otherwise. What is the definition of faith anyway? Everything that we're talking about here, we're talking about holding a vibrational frequency even before the evidence is there. Well, if there has ever been a conversation where we would like to apply that, this is it. Where we want you to have faith in the success of your children even before they've figured out how to demonstrate it. Because they will never figure out how to demonstrate it if you don't have faith in their ability to guide themselves.